Something's not quite right about this setup today.
It's not happened again, has it?
Yep, wrong chairs, hold on. There you go, that's better.
Nice one.
Hello and welcome to Woodshed Reviews, where we look at films old and new, good and bad. On today's show, it's The Marvels.
This was your choice, so explain yourself.
Well, it was just what was on at the weekend, I guess. Wanted to get a new film and The Marvels happened to be on. There was nothing more. There was nothing more than that, really. It's been a long time in the making, I think.
Has it?
It's been a bit delayed with reshoots, editing.
Is this the version we saw? Is that the before all the reshoots and edits? And
Well, yeah, that's the first point, I suppose. It's I think this has got to be the shortest film in the Marvel universe.
Correctamundo!
I was intrigued by that. I thought, okay, maybe we'll get a nice punchy, short, snappy little superhero film. I haven't got enough of those. They're often over bloated and overblown.
like
and all
maybe
that.
they would cut out all the fluff.
Yeah.
But I think they got it the wrong way around, didn't they? They left all the fluff in.
Strong theory.
It's sort of like a sequel to Captain Marvel, which feels like, that film feels like an age ago.
It does, and I don't think the response to that was particularly great at the time.
No, I mean, it did well at the box office, but yeah, maybe critically not so well. And from what I remember of it, that seems kind of justified. It felt a bit of a bland kind of entry into the Marvel universe. But I think with the films in those days, they were kind of like covered by the rest of the films around them in the forward narrative and stuff. So, you know, the sort of lesser films in that universe got a bit of more of a pass, I think.
Yeah.
Now that sort of sheen's gone, and they're open to the full glare of...
Yeah, like so all the major characters have kind of either died or fallen into the background.
Heroes. It's an old-fashioned notion. But the world can still use them.
Ready.
Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
I guess so. They're trying to kind of reboot the franchise, I guess, to some degree by bringing in all these new characters. And this one's got, returning Captain Marvel, but also this is a continuation of the Miss Marvel show.
Yes, which I haven't seen.
No, I didn't watch it.
With Kamala Khan, aka Miss Marvel, and Monica Rambeau, who was in the
WandaVision.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we're a team.
It's not a really great introduction to these characters. We don't really gel with them, I don't think, that well.
Yeah.
But apparently they all got similar abilities or similar energy abilities.
Yeah, their powers are not very clear, but they're kind of like centered around what exactly?
Light?
Light?
I don't know. Light.
You can absorb light. I can see it. And Kamala.
Who's Kamala?
Hi. She can turn light into physical matter.
So the hook of this film is that all three of them get kind of entangled by this event.
Yeah, and this event is something to do with quantum bands.
Okay.
And our main baddie is a woman called
Dathra? Deborah.
Deborah will do, yeah.
Darben. Yeah, okay. They're just making up names now at this point.
Yeah, so Darben, where's she from?
I've no idea. Even though she's like in the very first scene getting like this gauntlet, it took me an age to realise that she was a main character in this and that she was the main bad guy in this, because she just kind of felt completely overlooked and I didn't really know what her purpose was. She was kind of moaning about something or other, but it wasn't very clear, and I wasn't sure if that was something I was supposed to know from previous films.
Yeah, I think that's the problem with this film.
Yeah.
You kind of feel like there's something missing, there's information missing.
Yeah.
And I'm not entirely sure if it's been told before.
Yeah, some of it's held back in the story. Like there's a reveal about Captain Marvel's past in this.
Yeah.
Which I thought, I wasn't sure, but I believe it is within the film itself. It's not something that you've come into the film knowing before, so...
Yeah.
But that just further confuses things, I think.
It does.
She's entangled our light-based powers. so we switch places whenever we use them.
It's quite a fun gimmick.
Yeah.
I thought they could have done more with it.
Definitely could have done more with it, and almost immediately that they set up those rules, they start breaking them. And that's kind of common with superhero films or horror films or things like that. When you set up the rules, further down the line, the rules start to kind of get bent and broken. But this is like almost within minutes of this, where there's bits where they use the superhero powers and they don't swap places, and then the next minute they use it and they do swap places. So it just kind of depends on whether the film or the writers want them to swap places at that time or not.
Sure.
So they can still use their superhero powers.
Yeah.
What is happening to me?
Well, they don't really use that technique in the end so much, do they? Do you think that it's going to be a big thing, them swapping places to beat the enemy?
Yeah, and use it in a really smart, clever way. And you would think, oh, I never thought of doing that. And it doesn't really pan out like that particularly. So that feels a bit of a missed opportunity. I kind of felt Miss Marvel was probably the most relatable character, and almost the main character in this to some degree.
Yeah.
I felt the other two were just kind of a bit bland and not much character to them, not much story, not much background that was interesting or delved into.
I can't. Can you? I got it.
No, not at all. I mean, like, you know, the old films, you'd have Iron Man would have his own film, Thor would have his own film, and you'd spend time with them. But these characters, yeah, like you said, they felt very bland.
Yeah, and we've seen them before, obviously, like you're saying, but yeah, it still kind of felt not fleshed out enough. But Miss Marvel was okay in that regard compared to the other two.
Yeah,
I kind of understood her character, and she had a bit of emotional range. I mean, relatively speaking.
Yeah.
She was a bit one note, maybe.
Hi.
Definitely one note. She seems to take to being in space all of a sudden like a duck to water. It's not a big deal, and
Yeah.
going on all these adventures.
Yeah, because I mean, I suppose in the film she's kind of like she's a lesser sort of superhero at this point, but she looks up to Captain Marvel. She's even stolen her name, Miss Marvel, from her. She's a bit of a fangirl.
Major fangirl, yeah.
Yeah, she wants, and they hammer that home quite a lot.
Yeah.
More than necessary. But it was understandable. You could kind of relate to that, I guess, and sort of like, okay, that's a little something, and see where it goes with this. But it doesn't really go anywhere particularly with that, I didn't think.
No, it seems like it should have. Particularly because we see Captain Marvel, a brief flashback to when she was referred to as the Annihilator.
Annihilator!
I don't like that name.
With Kamala Khan being a major fangirl, she can maybe learn, okay, her hero's not all she's cracked up to be.
There was one point in the film where they were rescuing the, what are they called?
I think it was the Kree, it was on a refugee
colony, yeah.
Colony.
And the planet is imploding, or the air's being sucked out of it, isn't it?
That's right.
And the three of them are going to trying to rescue these people, as many of them as they can. And this is sort of like Miss Marvel's first sort of mission with Captain Marvel and with Monica Rambeau. So she's all excited and giddy and all that stuff, and she wants to try and save everyone. Miss Marvel's like, we can't save everyone.
Captain Marvel
is saying, no, we can't save everyone. And there's a bit of, she's kind of like angry and resentful about this in that moment. And I thought, oh, this could be interesting. This could bring up a lot of dynamics of like her, maybe Captain Marvel isn't doing enough with her powers, and maybe she needs someone like Miss Marvel to motivate her a bit. But also maybe Miss Marvel needs to kind of realise that life isn't rosy like that, being a superhero, and there are tough decisions to make.
Yeah.
And it might have caused some drama between them, but instead, they did nothing.
Not a big deal. All these lives are being,
lost,
and it's just not a big deal.
For a lot of it, Captain Marvel's just sort of standing at a ship going, come on, get on the ship. And I'm like, why don't you just fly about like at a million miles an hour like you normally do, and like pick up some people instead of like standing like a steward?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But anyway,
felt very strange. It lacked any grit or jeopardy or anything like that. The whole film.
Monica, you gotta fly.
No.
Black girl magic.
Yeah, I think because you said, like, you've got this huge civil war going on with millions of lives being lost in that, but yet we're focusing on Miss Marvel being a fangirl to Captain Marvel for a large chunk of the film. And there's a sort of, like, you just want to take the camera and go, let's look at what's going on over here. It's a bit more, it's a little more interesting, a little more high stakes.
Yeah,
You know,
I know. That's
as much as I'm tired of these high stakes in terms of superhero films and stuff like that, and it's always world or universe-ending consequences.
Yeah.
I am kind of tired of that, but if you're going to have that in the background,
Yeah.
that seems a little bit strange too.
She's targeting every planet we call home. I would never choose to bring anybody into this. You are not the only thing standing between this and the universe.
And maybe the reshoots were all about changing the tone of the piece, you know, give it more happy-go-lucky kind of.
Yeah, it's a bit more kind of zany, you know. There's like that whole section with these cats.
Oh yeah.
Which seems to have been a big kind of marketing push for them. They had something about a room full of cats on a webcam or something that you could watch.
Introducing the new Furbo 360 Cat camera and see the Marvels only in theaters.
I don't know. Is the cat going to get his own film? Explain these kind of weird powers it's got.
Yeah, because I remember that vaguely from something, but I think it must have been Captain Marvel. It's these cats that, what can they do? They've got like octopus tentacles that can come out and swallow a man whole without any sort of ramifications on the cat at all, but then they just kind of spit him back out like a furball. So that was a whole section that was going on, and it felt, I don't know, it felt like it was trying to be everything everywhere all at once, kind of zany, crazy. Look at this is totally insane, you know.
Yeah.
I was just sitting there going, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Thanks, Goose.
Very forgettable, not much of an end battle, and then a very predictable kind of ending.
Yeah, we've got Captain Marvel. She is kind of persuaded to use her power to reignite the sun or the planet that's dying.
And this is like many, many years later, isn't it? After she'd kind of done, after she'd obliterated their sun and their planet and stuff, she thinks, maybe I'll go back and, you know, maybe try and sort that out. And it's only because Monica Rambeau kind of like suggests it, just in a sort of little, maybe you should go and try and sort out that problem that you caused, you know, how long ago was it? It's like, we're talking anyway. Decades, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, these poor people.
I know.
Captain Marvel, the Annihilator. You took everything from me.
There's not too much in the multiverse sort of stuff with this one until there's a little bit at the end. So
yeah, that's right. There's something happens that was our main villain dies, and in doing so ruptures
a tear in the space-time continuum or something, going into a different parallel universe, which in order to patch it up, Monica has to sacrifice herself.
She tore a hole in space. There's a different reality leading into ours.
But then, we know she's not she's not dead or she's not gone forever, but then we get a post-credit scene where there she is, and we get an appearance from, no one would have been expecting this, Kelsey Grammer's, is it the Beast or Beast from X-Men 3?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah. So a 20-year-old film that nobody liked, and a character that everyone's kind of forgotten about makes an appearance in a very ugly kind of CGI model. It's not even Kelsey Grammer in the makeup or anything like that. No, it's just,
wow, okay.
It's pretty lazy.
Yeah, so this is all happening in an alternate universe where they're obviously going to set a bunch of X-Men films.
Yeah, well, the X-Men have been circling around the sort of universe, the what do you call it, the MCU universe for a while, haven't they? Like the rumours about them kind of coming into it and stuff.
Okay,
I don't think was it Spider-Man? Was it one of the Spider-Man ones that kind of made an appearance?
Yeah.
Alternate versions.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah.
So there was that. So there is precedence for this. But yeah, here we go again. But I don't know if, like, you know, as I said, Kelsey Grammer's Beast is really going to set the fans on fire.
No, I mean, it's not really targeted at us. It probably feels like it's targeted at a younger age group. But then, in saying that, you should be able to still have
plenty
tension
of
and dramatic scenes and.
Maybe it's like just about at the we're at the tail end of this kind of stuff, and people are just kind of fed up a bit more and we're a bit less courteous about it, perhaps.
Yeah. It seems to be when it's all moved to Disney, it just went downhill quite rapidly.
Yeah, I think that probably sums it up.
Higher. Further. Faster.
I mean, just boring for me, checked out, not really much to bring me into it. So I'm going to say 1.5.
Yeah.
I think I can't say fairer than that.
That's pretty fair, I have to say. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of these films are a bit like fast food, aren't they?
I definitely wasn't thinking about it like the next day. Like
Yeah.
I woke up this morning and it's like, and then we're like, oh, we're reviewing the Marvels, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'd forgotten about that already. You know, so yeah. So your rating is?
I'm going to go for 1.
Ooh, okay, savage.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Tell us if we got that right about the Marvels. Maybe you liked it. Let us know. But that's all we've got for you today, and we'll see you next time.
Cheerio.